LBC News.
3:28 right now. Ofcom has opened its first investigation using powers under the Online Safety Act. It's looking into a suicide forum that's been linked to 50 deaths in the UK. Let's speak live to David Savage, Chief Technology Officer at the suicide prevention charity Ripple. Good to speak to you, David.
Hi there, Jim.
A lot of people will be shocked that this forum even exists.
Yes, unfortunately, there's lots of dark places out there on the internet. This forum is just one of those.
What powers, then, will the Online Safety Act, what change will it be able to bring, are you hoping?
Well, it's about blocking and making access more difficult. We're pleased it's the first property in the sights of Ofcom. This website has caused real harm. We hope its closure can be fast and complete. However, this site in question isn't in the UK. No single entity, as we know, controls the internet, so enforcement can't be 100% effective without the cooperation of the wider world. But it doesn't make an argument for doing nothing. The site will be made much harder to access, and that is progress we should be on board with. Unfortunately, in the UK, Parliament lags behind technology in making laws, by about 5 years. So there's always going to be more to do to keep organisations like us at Ripple busy at the front line of that mental health technology.
So when it comes to the possibility of fines or court orders, we're saying that if these sites are not in the UK, you can't enforce those punishments.
I think it'll be very difficult to find that site for its existence if it's in, anywhere outside of the UK, but it's the service providers that allow access. So the likes of BT or Virgin or Vodafone and so on, they're going to have to put steps in place to prevent access to this site. But we'd also like to see action on the secondary providers. So this one in question I looked at earlier today. It's facilitated by a company, a very, very large US company that facilitates 20% of websites globally.
Right.
We'd like to see secondary action on these kinds of companies. But the political landscape has changed in the last few weeks. It's much, we hope the government can still strongly enforce actions on US-based companies without treading on eggshells or fear of economic retaliation.
So you're concerned directly about the close ties that the Trump administration has with big tech?
I think that needs to factor in, but we can't let that cow us to a lack of action when it comes to making online safety in the UK a priority.
Do you feel like it is enough of a priority? There's a lot of talk from the government. The Online Safety Act is kicking in, as we know. But, is it too little, too late? Is it too weak?
There's always more that can be done, right? But I think we should be on board with what is happening. We need to applaud the action that is taken. But let's see how this is enforced. Let's see how effective that enforcement is. There's still so much more to do in the world of social media, particularly TikTok and Instagram. We see some terrible things in there. We need to see this. It's more than just one website. In a month, there's so much to get into. We need to see this rate of enforcement really pick up.
What can parents do? What should parents do that are listening to this and are worried that their teenager might come across one of these sites? How can you regulate it as a parent or know what to look out for?
So if you have a laptop or desktop at home, you can install our Ripple tool. It's a small piece of technology that sits in the browser and it detects suicide and self-harm searches. It redirects that person to some local effective signposting for local charities and, of course, to 999 and 111. So that's the last line of defence as a safety net. But I would say, as a parent, you need to talk to your children and be involved in their online life. Don't allow it to be separate between them and their phone in their bedroom. To put yourself in there with them and understand what's going on.
And how much have things changed? I don't know how long Ripple has been around. How long have you been in existence?
So we were started in 2021.
Okay, 2021. So a couple of years. Is there an escalate? Is the problem escalating? Is it a case as more people have smartphones, more sites are around, more there's more access to getting online? Is that getting worse?
I think in the UK the level of access to the online world has been about the same, maybe. Children getting a bit younger as they start to gain access to it. It's through phones and tablets, or mum and dad's tablet or phone, perhaps. So perhaps people are getting younger. And yeah, I'd say the things are changing and have changed in the social media companies, where less is being done, in fact, now than it was before.
Thank you for joining me live, David Savage, Chief Technology Officer at the suicide prevention charity Ripple, and don't forget